people. I got you Lincoln and Cheney. So
Oh yeah,
Lincoln and Elizabeth City. So
yeah. There we go.
all right, we live, brother.
Yeah.
We
What
are live.
what trade are you talking about? What trade scenarios?
I just been hearing about Max Crosby going to the Bills for 2 first round and a fourth. Um, you know, some of these teams who
I don't know if
are that close, but I don't think the Raiders give up their best defensive player. Seeing
no.
they got a great defensive player, they got the best tight end probably in the game. If they get a quarterback, then they start building back around what they
Yeah,
have.
I mean they're just a couple wide receivers short and some cornerbacks short of being all right,
It
but
it happens. Let's say if they get
they're not getting rid of Max Crosby. There ain't no way.
let's say they get Shador Sanders. Well, who's Shador Sanders'
Like
trainer is the owner. That's the owner Shador Sanders' trainer.
Shador ain't gonna be that great, man.
What they pick number 6?
What they said. Let me see what they said today. Hold on a second. Let me pull this back up because they're saying that he's a heavier Teddy Bridgewater at his height. I mean at his best.
They haven't watched Shador Sanders throw that ball. That Shador Sanders
They're watching
because
football. That's
he played on a bad team his first year, and in the second year they got better. It built the character that a quarterback needs because everything never went right for Shador, and Shador is a baller. Now, is he Cam Ward of the draft? Maybe not. Cam Ward is probably Jaden Daniels, but I'll say Shador Sanders is going to be every good as Caleb Williams, and
I
Caleb.
I disagree big time, man. Big time. I don't think so.
Yeah, if you watch Shador Sanders' game, and
Watching Sanders. I've
I
watched.
watched 90% of his games. That guy is he got a big time arm talent because he throws people open, and in the NFL, that's what you need to do. He's learned now. His thing was, and you could tell Tom Brady was the person who was training him because Shador Sanders hold the ball too long because he's trying to make sure, and I can hear his trainer in his head. You get the ball to them, and in the college game with his line and everything that he had, um,
Mhm.
he just didn't have he didn't have the time. But in the pro game, he's more athletic than what he looks, and he can throw that ball. That accuracy and timing that he has, you can't watching him live and just seeing him. I said, let me see the hype. Man, that guy can throw that ball, man. That kid can throw that ball, dude. And if he gets in the right people, the right system, if he gets with Tom Brady and them, oh, he gonna be fine because Tom is gonna have him right because he took him from wherever he was to where he is now. He had potential to be the top two quarterback
I
taken.
disagree, man. I think at best you get a mm, I mean, shit. I'm trying to find a good comparison. Like, I don't think he's going to be that great. I really don't. I think he's going to be a top middle of the pack at best
What in this quarterback class?
in the league.
Well, I think in the league, I mean, well, let's not get spoiled. Let's not put Jaden Daniels, who's got an A grade in running and
For
A
Jaden
grade in
Daniels.
passing.
I don't think he's anything like a Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, well, he's more like to me, he's more like a, a,
It's
a
hard.
version of, if you had to go between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, he's more of a Caleb Williams than a Jaden Daniels. He's more of a guy who will do more from the pocket. But here's the thing: he's way more athletic than you can ever imagine. It doesn't seem that way, But in the pros, I mean, you got to be able to move. He can move in that pocket, man.
My thing is, I feel like he's a project for one. He's going to need a lot of coaching, and he has to be in the right system.
What you mean a lot of coaching?
I don't think he's set to be in the league. I think he needs a lot of help. I don't think he's NFL ready.
Shit, he more NFL ready than every quarterback that's coming out.
That's okay. That doesn't say much.
And wait, that doesn't say much. Jackson Dart, Cam Ward. Jackson Dart and Cam Ward is about as good as you can get.
Cam Ward is the best quarterback in the draft. Shedeur, I don't think is anywhere close. I think there's a lot of hype behind his name. I think there's a ton of hype behind his name.
Did you pull up his numbers?
And what a lot of scouts are saying, quote unquote, if his name was Shedeur Williams, we'd be having a very totally different conversation about this kid right now.
And I would agree with the scouts if I did not see this dude play almost every game. I saw him, and I was a critic of him because I was like, I don't like daddy's ball. But what I found out is not Shedeur this year. I found out more from Shedeur last season when things were 4-9, 4-8, when things are bad, and when the line was bad, when everything was bad around them, the whole roster was bad. He was a leader, and he was the one that was out there balling when shit was bad. Not when everything was good, because see, all other quarterbacks, they came from real good programs, and everything has been really good. Shedeur Sanders actually came from the worst program and program up to being a top 25 and top 30 team. That was because of his play. And that's when you find out more about people. You don't find out about people when everybody's doing well and everything is good. He had the worst offensive line out of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. But he had the highest percentage, passing percentage. He had the worst offensive line, but the highest passing percentage.
I'm not buying it, man. It's Danny Dimes 2.0.
No, he's who?
Danny Dimes 2.0.
Oh, hell no. He better than Danny Dimes. He don't run as well as Danny Dimes, but he throws that ball. Listen, with Shedeur Sanders.
I think he is a second to third round talent at best.
You lost your damn mind.
Nope.
Not the way he throw that ball.
Nope. Man, and I'm confident enough to say it's going to show. I think anybody who's drinking the Sanders Kool-Aid is hyped for a lot of reasons outside of the fact that he's going to come and do something. It's just
forget his last name being Sanders. Forget his last name being Sanders.
You can't though. That's the massive part.
No, it's not. So his last name being Sanders was the reason why I was so bent on dogging him as a quote unquote what they call daddy's ball. But when I saw him, not only on TV, when I saw him,
he can't throw the ball, TK. I'm not saying he can't play. There's a lot of good quarterbacks who went in the second and third round. I'm just saying he's not a top 5 pick caliber quarterback, in my opinion.
I tell you what, he won't go past the Raiders pick.
I think.
And guess what?
Yeah, because the quarterback needy teams who are going to take him. I'm just saying.
Oh, no. You know why the Raiders are going to take him? Because I think Tom Brady would know better quarterback talent than any scout that's out there. If Tom Brady owns the team and he takes Shedeur Sanders, that means he really believes in what that man's talent. Now, I would agree with you. If it comes up to the Raiders and the Raiders pass him by and their quarterback needy team,
right,
then I'm with you. I will agree with Tom Brady. But if Brady takes him, it's over because now he got the best. He's been working with him last 3-4 years. That's why he became what he became. He didn't become that because he's Deion's son. He became that from hard work. When he came out and when Tom Brady came out and criticized him for buying that big ride, did you hear Deion come out and say something to Tom Brady for saying something about his son? No, because Deion told Tom Brady, you handle him the way you see fit, the way you see fit to make him better. And I think that is what's going to be the difference of him being a regular dude or him being that guy. Now, I'm not saying he's going to have a Jaden Daniels first year, but what I am saying from the talent that I've seen and from him dealing with adversity, I haven't seen any of these quarterbacks deal with adversity. Have you seen any of them deal with adversity? All the top 10 quarterbacks came from great programs. Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, the guy that's at Ohio State, the guy at Alabama. All these are top teams, man. Top teams. They got top teams, top talent, top offensive lines too. And that does make it. If you got the worst offensive line, but you got the highest passing percentage, completion percentage, the most touchdowns, and not throwing a bunch of interceptions, come on, Cody. Come on down. Talk to me. You trying to compare him to Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, which is pretty bad. All right, what we on today, baby? Cody, you still there? What we on today? What we got? Some of these.
I hear you on that. I was hearing people talking about the Myles Garrett trade to Washington. I don't think it makes any sense at all. I think it's a lot of money for a guy who only is going to have 2 years left on his contract. It's going to cost $50 million a year for the next 2 years. We got the cap for it. Okay, cool. But in 2 years, we have to re-sign him. At the same time, we got to re-sign Jaden Daniels, Mikey Sandstrill, and a lot of other players. And I just think it's a lot of capital to give up for a guy we only going to have 2 years when we should be looking to build a dynasty, not a
You know who I think he goes to?
Who?
Detroit.
That's crazy if that happens. I was thinking Miami, actually.
Detroit. Because he's going to go to a team that's within that top 6, 3 in the conference, 3 in that conference. He's not going to go AFC because Cleveland ain't going to do that. They're not going to make that mistake. Cleveland's going to send him to the NFC. So out of the NFC teams, Philly's not going to do it because Philly's just don't – they feel like they don't need him. The Giants may do it, but Detroit –
What if he goes to Baltimore?
Now, if they let him go in that division, they crazy because that's a division. I never see – because of Saquon Barkley, ain't no GM going to risk their job giving up the best player to go in the division and then go, that's not happening no more. I mean, Barkley has ruined any trade inside divisions for good. I mean, that to me, that's the worst. That's some of the worst shit.
That wasn't a trade, though. That wasn't a trade.
It might as well have been a trade if you let him go test the market. And you know they need a running back. It's worse than a trade. You ain't get nothing for him.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't get nothing for him.
I think they got a comp pick for him because they franchise him 1 year.
They got a compensation, but still,
you ain't. In other words, you ain't get nothing for him unless that guy you got was neighbors. You ain't got nothing for him.
No, so, and it wasn't. It was like a 4th rounder or something like that.
So this is our first time on here since Philadelphia won the championship, or the second. We came on right after the
second.
We came on right after the Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah. Not much has happened. Our sports and TD Report, we're going to be in Indianapolis this weekend, folks. Come check us out on Saturday.
Yep.
We'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I kind of give you I'm a kind of
what time's the combine?
It's all days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
next week.
This week.
This week.
Yeah, this week. So
it's already Monday, man. My days are running together.
Yeah. Today's Monday, and days of next week is my birthday, 3/3, baby.
Yep.
Monday, 3/3, baby. That's the big B day. I'll be on the road trying to get back from Indy.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, I just looking at, the teams and what they need. These Myles Garrett, I don't think Crosby's going anywhere.
Crosby not going nowhere. Garrett's going somewhere because he requested it. Crosby, that's just all hype. People want something to talk about right now.
How about Matt Stafford? They told him he can go look. I've been hearing rumors.
Matt
The
Stafford,
Giants.
so Matt Stafford can go look for a nice home on a beach somewhere and retire his ass because nobody's getting Matt Stafford.
Well, it seemed like it's something in play. Now you better hope he don't go to Minnesota and
Why? What is it? What is up with these retread ass quarterbacks going to these places and thinking it's going to work?
because that's their quarterback coach.
Sam Darnold got lucky. They're going to stick with him. If they don't, they're dumb.
You're right. Shit, stuff happens, man. It's
I don't get it. Like, why? They just drafted a quarterback with a top 5 pick.
yeah, they did, but he been hurt, and they needed somebody in front of him to help.
They got Sam Darnold, a previous top 5 pick.
Hey man,
just took him to a division championship.
Hey man, no, they didn't win the division.
Took him to.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they had a real good team, man. They had a real good season.
Yeah.
The NFC is better than what people think. With all the teams, I mean,
it is.
If see, what I tell people all the time is the number 2 team played in the Super Bowl for the NFC, and the number 3 team played in the Super Bowl for the AFC. KC wasn't that good. KC just got lucky with the draw. If KC would have had to play Baltimore and Buffalo, they would have never made it to the Super Bowl.
Nah.
They would have never made it to the Super Bowl. They got lucky with the draw of their division. What I tell people all the time, your division matters.
Oh,
Buffalo's in a terrible division.
Yep.
KC's in a terrible division. Baltimore's in a hard division. That division is tough, and your division matters. So they took a couple of L's in the division that Buffalo didn't take, and that's the reason why they had to go to Buffalo. Because if that game's in Baltimore, they beat them by 20 again, like they beat them before.
Yeah.
And remember, they turned the ball over 3-4 times and still lost the game because the dude dropped the 2-point conversion. Come on now. Come on. Baltimore was the best team in the AFC last year. And I think Baltimore will probably have the best team this year. Now, you guys could be the best team in NFC if you make the right moves. If you're talking about getting a big time receiver, but you got to go big time. You got to go big time with somebody that's going to make double teams happen, because you can't double team both the X and the Y. You can't double team both of them. Yeah, and if you got Scary Terry and you got another big time receiver, you can't double team both of them with a quarterback like Jayden Daniels. Now, the key for you guys is going to be the tight ends. How are you doing with the tight ends and the slot receivers? That's how you need that offense humming, because then when your offense humming, you can still have problems on defense, but you can replace and work it out when your offense is humming.
Yeah.
When that's how it works. I mean, that's why Detroit was so good this year. Their offense was humming. You don't see your problems until the playoffs.
They lost that defense, and that's what hurt them.
Yeah, but you didn't see those problems until the playoffs. Because I tell you about the playoffs, everything compacts. What they start spending 150% on your team instead of spending 75% on the team they play this week, 25% on the team they play next week. No, it goes up to 100%, 50% on one team.
Yep.
And it showed. If it didn't show against you guys, it would have showed in the championship against the Eagles.
Right.
So you can't lose 18 players to, injured reserve and all that stuff. It doesn't work.
It's detrimental. That's detrimental. So
and it doesn't take away.
That was a killer. I don't think it was just on that. I think Jared Goff didn't really play too great of a game either.
But he wouldn't have had to play a great game if they defense did anything. He wouldn't have to.
Right.
But when they pressing and you pressing up on the team, and you got to give it to Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels played his best game ever as a pro that game. He threw some some dimes in
Oh,
there
yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
That was like the best passes I've ever seen in my life. That one he threw, that post corner he threw, man, you couldn't have. He literally couldn't have gone out and laid it in his hand any better than what he did.
Yep.
I mean, you just don't make throws like that in the playoffs on the road as a rookie. So he did his job, and he did it well.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. But here's the thing. Well, I'm gonna tell the Washington Redskins, Commanders people, is expectations are what usually kills teams, because now when you got to the NFC Championship, everybody think you're supposed to get to the next level. That doesn't work like that all the time. As Detroit, as San Francisco, you had all the talent in the world. San Francisco on paper had the best roster. Detroit is in the top 3 roster on paper. Neither one of them made the championship game. That happens. That's going to happen in this game of football. This is not basketball. Football, your main dude get hurt, your main guy can get out. Detroit lost the #1 defensive player in the damn league to me, and they made it there. But if they had their #1 defensive player, where would they be? You know, things like that happens, man, and you just got to. I don't know, say you got to do whatever, but it's hard, man. It's hard, you know. But don't act like you're supposed to be in the Super Bowl because you made the championship game. Because remember, pressure burst pipes or create diamonds. So there's going to be a lot of pressure next year. And when they look at their schedule, everybody's going to look at their schedule and be like, oh, we got to play this quarterback. We got to play him now. Last year, they was like, well, he's a rookie. Man, we don't know if he's going to get on the field or not. And things like that happen, man. I mean, I'd rather be in y'all position than to be in Dallas or the Giants position. You know, stubborn general managers, you know, declining talent, and just playing in the division with 2 teams who played in the NFC Championship game. So, you know, that's how I look at it. I just want to see some of this talent, but I'm a little upset that Shador's not throwing at the combine, because I wanted to see him actually throw it. But I've seen him in person, but I get a chance to see Jackson Dart in person. I get a chance to see, I don't know if Cam Ward throwing? Did Cam say he's throwing or he's not? Do you know? You freezing on me, man. Cody. Oh, man, what happened to him? You freezing on me. Oh, okay. Hello? All right, folks. Cody.
Right.
You got to roll. All right. Hello?